The nostalgic political impulse, which is becoming predominant in our present historical moment, has to do with the fact that we are unable at this moment to accept our transience and to find beauty in that, and we recoil from it. And the refugee reminds us that things are going to change, right? The refugee is terrifying not because that poor child is really, going to kill us or whatever, but because once the refugee comes, things will be different, right? That's the terror. And so partly we have to address this stuff, which I'm trying to do, and which this book is trying to do, and which in some ways, How to Get Filthy Rich in Rising Asia is kind of a manual to how to do in a weird way. But if that's the cultural dynamic, right, there's also a political dynamic, which is that we don't accept each other as equal. And that has to change. And fundamentally, the axis of identity on which we don't accept equality is the geographic axis. Like, we don't necessarily treat women and men and gay and straight people and Muslims and Christians and atheists and, black and white and whatever as equal, but we know we should, right? I mean, it's kind of hard these days to say, actually, women are. We might act like it, but we know we're being jerks if we do. And yet we are completely comfortable saying that the kid born in Mogadishu is a fundamentally different category of kid than the kid born here in Amsterdam. Like, that kid has no right to be here. Like, that kid should stay there and become a child soldier or killed or, do whatever the hell is going to happen to that kid, because they aren't a participant in the shared human dignity of this child. That is a completely unsustainable position. Right.
Is that why you're for the human right to migration? Because you're taking it to a different level. I've never heard that before.
Well,
there's protection, but there's not.
The human right comes secondly. The real question we have to ask ourselves is, what occurs when we deny others equality?